Why? Daiko?
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
Dragon Ball Deliverance episode 4 is finally here, guys. I've been waiting so long for this episode and I've been so excited, mainly because this is going to be the Namekian lore episode, and as you can see just from the very beginning, we are now seeing the Namekians in a way we've never seen them before, and that's what makes this part of the lore of Dragon Ball Deliverance extremely exciting. Huge shout out to the entire Dragon Ball Deliverance team. Notorious Luke, thank you so much for allowing me to cover Dragon Ball Deliverance. Love you all. I appreciate you all. Let's go ahead and jump right back in.
I will tell you everything. But first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Asturi. I'm the last great sealer Namekian that walks among this plane of existence. I'm sure you have many questions, but answering them one by one will not make you any wiser, I presume. For you to learn who they are, Piccolo, you must learn the history of our people. I will show you everything.
Where are we?
Can't you tell? This is your home planet, over 500 years ago.
This is some serious lore here, guys, because of the way that they're tying in the Namekian culture into sort of a hyper-realistic and exploratory advanced race makes sense. A lot of these ships, a lot of the designs, they look futuristic, and yet when we meet the Namekian people in Dragon Ball, they seem like they've basically done, their best days are behind them, but that's not what's going on here. This is a great way to show how advanced a civilization was before it was brutally destroyed, before it went into recession. I absolutely adore this. This new Namekian, this Seer Namekian, is one of the ones that I believe is going to be showing Piccolo exactly how to defeat the evil Namekians that have come down in the last couple episodes of Dragon Ball Deliverance. I wholeheartedly believe that they're going to be coming down, and Piccolo's going to have this guy in his back corner showing him and give him the knowledge on how to defeat these beings that are essentially making mincemeat out of the most powerful Saiyan.
This? Namek? How is that possible? This is incredible. I can't believe Namek was this developed, this advanced, this populated.
Didn't you find it odd? A race that seemingly enjoys most of their days meditating were able to create wishing orbs, able to alter our plane of reality?
It didn't occur to me, no.
Namek was ahead of its time, more advanced than all other civilizations, defying the laws of nature, conquering worlds and more. We acted as if it was our destiny to shape the universe as we saw fit. We believed ourselves to be invincible, as no one could resist us. We were so focused on the outside, we failed to look within.
What happened?
The same thing that happens to all societies. Not everyone shares the same ideals, and sooner or later, conflict arises. At the time, though we formed one society, Namek was divided into 3 factions, 3 clans. The Dragon Clan. These were natural-born fighters, using their energy to enhance their combat abilities. They were formidable. Piccolo, you're a descendant of that clan. I can tell just by looking at you. Next up was the Sealing Clan. This clan specialized in sealing abilities. Bringing order and justice into our society was their primary job.
I've never seen a Namekian using energy like this.
The last main clan is the Soul Clan. Though limited in their abilities, their latent powers to connect with the essence of one's very being was one to be admired. It allowed us to truly be connected with one another. The story of Namek's downfall starts with the descendant of the Soul Clan, Daiko. He was a commander of Namek's First Legion, a genius tactician who led Namek's army into thousands of battles and remained victorious. Although Namek was already at the top of his might, this wasn't enough for Daiko. He had a vision. A vision where Namek solidified its superiority over any other planet in the entire universe, and there were many Namekians sharing his point of view. I should have realized right then and there that his beliefs were bordering on the side of tyranny.
Piccolo should have really known better and understood that the Namekians were far more capable when it came to anything in their sphere of influence, especially since they can create orbs that grant any wish. Basically exactly what this guy said, molding reality to their own vision. And so a tribe of people that live in huts, it seems plausible that they could do this kind of thing, but even in Dragon Ball proper, it just isn't one of those things that it doesn't make much sense, to be honest with you. And even though they can get past it, I do believe in Dragon Ball itself, we will eventually have something along the lines of the ancient Namekian race and exactly what they were about, similar to this. Now, it's not going to be exactly like this because this is awesome and this is like well thought out. You even have a class system. I mean, we already knew that Piccolo was a fighter class, but now we have a couple others that, showcase that this was a complex society. Yes, this is honestly one of the best introductions to a race that I've seen, and I've played 100 MMO RPGs before. This is honestly awesome. This is really good stuff. I really hope that they really do something like this in the actual Dragon Ball anime, because right now Fanimation is just so much better than what Dragon Ball has to offer on its own.
Where are we now?
The Grand Military Tribunal. Here we find out about Daiko's war crimes.
How dare you! Me? Execution!
The Kachine was necessary for us to reinforce many of our infrastructures. We need our technology to evolve constantly to remain at the top of the universe. They wouldn't bargain. I single-handedly prevented years of pointless negotiations and planetary warfare. You narrow-minded fools!
Daiko, may I remind you that you had an entire planet's population slaughtered using one of the military's most powerful weapons. You unleashed hundreds of gargoyles upon that world, with no authorization. You certainly cannot justify this crime. You've proven to be unpredictable, dangerous, unstable, and your actions have become irredeemable.
You're missing the big picture. I dedicated my life to Namek. My actions.
Silence! You are not to say anything further.
Your Honor, I ask permission to speak on behalf of the people.
Go ahead, Representative Guru.
That's Guru.
I do have a testimony for this assembly, and I hope to convince each of the senators that execution is not the way. I believe we may have misconstrued Daiko's character. I genuinely believe that Daiko thought he did what he did out of respect and patriotism for Namek. And though he cannot ever repent for his actions, I do not think we should justify murder with murder.
Guru defended Daiko and convinced the court to change their verdict from execution to life in prison in the Republic's highest security facility. It seemed as if everything was going back to normal. This did not last, I'm afraid. Shortly after Daiko became imprisoned, something terrible happened. One of the 6 senators was assassinated, and all evidence pointed at my fellow Ceiling Clan senator being the culprit.
So what we could honestly say the Empire and Namek at this point was doing was conquering other worlds similar to the Saiyans, but more than likely in a more traditional sense. Instead of taking all their resources, they actually kind of, put their foot on them and stomp them to the ground, taking their planet and then using it to continue conquering other planets. That's to be sure, but Daiko is honestly the product of these endless wars, this endless expansion, and that's honestly why the Namekians that are left more than likely are more peacekeeping Namekians. They're not for all that warfare. They are not for all that destruction, because they know deep down inside that, hey, this is what happened in the past. Even if they don't remember it, they know that things can get out of hand. And so honestly, what they are doing right now to other species, it's almost like Frieza was their karma. Frieza coming down and basically doing the exact same thing to them, trying to steal their resources, aka Dragon Balls. Frieza is their retribution. And so now we finally know what this monster that Gotenks is fighting. It's called a gargoyle, and it's the most powerful weapon that the Namekian species can bring to bear. And what this guy did, he set them loose all over a planet. Not sure if the planet pissed them off, not sure if the planet, was not really responding to other means of conquering. Not really sure about all that. I mean, the guy said that he was unhinged. The guy said that he was completely out of line. So more than likely, again, years of warfare and maybe a little screw loose, this guy set basically nukes all over this planet and ushered in his own death sentence. And if it wasn't for Guru, who is apparently a lawyer in this, and ends up, he gained some weight. Boy put on some pounds after this. Instead of destroying Daiko, he imprisoned him. If it wasn't for him, he'd be dead. But unfortunately, it could also be said that Guru more than likely has a hand in responsibility to play when it comes to what obviously happens next, because there's no way that this is the story of the demise of the Namekian people or the Namekian civilization and it be, focus on this guy and him not be the cause of it. You know what I'm saying? I do think it's really funny that Piccolo's finding himself in like this sort of Law and Order at CSI sort of flashback. It just seems completely out of left field for someone like Piccolo. Like, he's not really one to be in these sort of situations, so it's entertaining. I like it.
How convenient. We all know there has been bad blood between the two of you. And now he's dead! The Sealers are behind this!
You better think twice before pointing fingers.
Is that a threat?
You have the nerve to threaten another senator? Are you planning to dispose of him? The same way you did with Senator Trom?
You're accusing him of assassinating a fellow senator. You'd be saying this too if you were backed into a corner like this. If you truly believe he did it, then he should prove his innocence in trial. This is not a place to decide a man's fate.
Oh, how considerate of you to defend a fellow Sealer senator. Who's to say you're not in on it as well?
A trial would only delay the inevitable. There's nothing to discuss.
The way I see it, you did this yourself, Silo. Sedition and murder are most likely not an uncommon sight for so-clan scum like yourself. You have more to gain from this than any of us.
We might have lost a fellow senator, but if you don't watch your mouth, I'll guarantee you that he won't be the last.
And just like that, our government fell apart. No one trusted anyone anymore. It always bothered me. We've ruled Namek for hundreds of years, and not once have we thought about taking each other's lives. My guess, none of the senators did it. I think my fellow Sealing Clan senator was framed by Commander Daiko. Conflict arose, pacts had been shattered, and so was the peace between the three clans. And that was the start of Namek's civil war. War was relentless and cruel. By the time our clans came to a ceasefire agreement, it was already too late. Among the thousands of casualties, we found that apart from Commander Daiko, the Soul Clan was completely wiped out. We could not believe what we had done. One of Namek's main pillars had vanished, never to return. We did not want to accept this. We could not accept this. And so, we decided not to.
I do want to say one thing, and that is if it only took just one murder of a senator to make everyone distrust each other, make all the tribes not want to cooperate with each other, and have everybody at each other's throats like this, where they would be blaming without any real evidence whatsoever that other people had done this, and basically plunging this empire into a civil war. If it really only took that, which I'm not saying that it's a negative in any sort of way, I'm making a reasoning why it was only that. It is because this civilization was on the brink of collapse. They have overstretched. They have already had those tensions in there, built in there pretty strongly. And so it wasn't just the destruction of this senator. It wasn't the death of this senator. It was things that already put into place. They were already at that breaking point, and then this guy dying, and more likely it was Daiko who did it. Yeah, that was enough to push everybody to not really believe anybody else's word and be like, you know what, you freaking did it. Even though they've never killed anybody before, or there was never any civil war, no riots, nothing like that. That was enough to be like, you know what, let's go. So this civilization, to me personally, the way that I see it, it was built to fail. It was built not to last, and it makes sense because that's exactly what's happening here.
We realized that if we pulled our powers together, we could somehow find a way to undo this madness, this war. And with the help of Commander Daiko, myself, and Guru, we had created wishing orbs. Wishing orbs that allowed us to alter reality.
You are one of the Dragon Ball's creators?
I used to be. Helping to create the Dragon Balls is my biggest regret, even up to this day. After fixing the damages caused by the Civil War, a new movement had started. It had become painfully clear that our system was not working. The remaining senators still distrusted one another and were unfit to lead. I too believed that our current system was horribly flawed, so I had no trouble renouncing my position if it meant fixing this dystopia. It was around this time where Guru decided to step up. His pacifistic ideals greatly impacted the citizens of Namek.
For too long have we used other planets' resources for our own personal gains. For too long we tried to play God. No more! If we keep this up, our planet will be doomed for eternity.
He wished for us to abandon our previous ways and carry on our days as a peaceful civilization.
We've been given a second chance. Let's take it!
Focusing solely on spiritual enlightenment, hoping the next generation would not follow in the footsteps of their predecessors. He also wished for the Dragon Balls not to be used freely and wanted to link his fate to the Dragon Balls.
Are you joking? You want to throw away all that we have worked for? Are you insane? Namek is on the verge of becoming the most important planet in the entire universe, exceeding even the might of the Supreme Kais!
Look around you! If we didn't create the Dragon Balls, you'd be standing on a mountain of corpses, made of your own people! What makes you think we're on the right track now?
The Dragon Balls are the prime example of what we can achieve! With its power, we can
Commander Daiko! I respect you as one of the creators of these wishing orbs. I'll even go as far as to say you have redeemed yourself from your actions before the war. We have created a terrible curse. If word spreads of the existence of the Dragon Balls, Namek will become a target to anyone seeking a wish. The fighting will never stop. We cannot keep going like this.
That's not for you to decide on your own! I've just about had it with all of you constantly undermining the potential of Namek. Guru, you want someone to guard the Dragon Balls? Very well, I'll do it! I'll become the guardian of the Dragon Balls, and under my guidance, I will elevate Namek into the greatest planet this universe has ever seen!
Don't do this, Daiko.
Yeah, personally, I figured as much. I thought that that was how that was gonna go. There is no way that Daiko was going to, like, someone as crazy as that. Like, I can't even imagine working with that guy. That guy is just so unhinged at all times of the day. There's never a moment where he's calmed down. He's just all angry all the time. I could not work with him, let alone be in the same room as him. This dude is insane. He's pure insanity. And someone like Guru, like, is his polar opposite. That's just crazy. You know, I would not be able to be working with this guy, but I mean, yeah, sort of a point, because even before all this happened, like, they were judging him for his actions, even though their empire is still committing, you know, essentially war crimes, like taking other planets. So, like, he doesn't ever get a say in anything, and now he's created the Dragon Balls and he still doesn't get a say in things. That's ridiculous. So I kind of take his side a little bit, but at the same time, you know, I get it. He's probably going to destroy what's left of Namek, or at least, you know, he's probably the father or the leader of these evil Namekians that have come to attack the Saiyans, at least. I do want to say one little thing here, like this little ending cap thing that gives you a little information about the civilization is pretty cool. I like that.
It would lead Namek into a new era. The battle was intense, but eventually...
You've lost, Daiko.
Curse you!
The agreement was that the winner of this battle would be the one to take reign of Namek. But something tells me that you won't comply, no matter what we agree on. The same way a civil war conveniently broke out right after your imprisonment. Right, Daiko? I once defended you in court. I will not do so again.
So what now? You're gonna have me executed after all?
No. I do not believe in the death sentence. It would make you a martyr. And that would only breed more conflict and violence. However, I cannot let this stand either. Daiko! As my first official act as the new ruler of Namek, I hereby banish you from the Namekian society. You may no longer be an official citizen of Namek, or make use of any of our privileges. You will be forced to roam the outskirts of our planet as a rogue criminal, living solely off water like we will do, so you can reflect upon your deeds and live out your final days in peace.
And so Daiko was banished. He ventured into the wilds. Many of his followers went along with him. That was the...
I did not have seeing the Guru, fighting and seeing his fighting skills on my bucket list this year for 2022. Hell no, that was not on there, and we just fucking saw it, guys. And the difference in these two fighting abilities, the skills of these two clans, is quite apparent because Guru is literally in control of this entire battle the entire fucking time. He is in charge. He is diverting, deflecting. He's like a Jedi, when Daiko is far more Sith-like. He is exuding Sith behavior, Sith-like behavior. So he is attacking him like a wild fucking animal, and he won't stop. But that's just making it so obvious where exactly he's going, what he's exactly doing, and someone like Guru can easily just control his movements and push him away, push him to the side, and just have complete mastery over the battlefield. So this battle was really cool. Did not expect to see it at all, and it's a really good midway point because it's like in the middle of the video, as long as video already, and I think that it really definitely sums up and gives you a little bit more action, but sums up what happened to Daiko, what happened to his people. I'm assuming people go with him because now he is banished. And Daiko, in just one video, we just met this guy, and he has lost in almost every single instance. He has lost basically in his job because, you know, he was attacking a planet and then he got essentially court-martialed and almost put to death. Then Guru, which again is the guy he's fighting, ends up saving his life. He gets sent to jail, and then he loses at that point his whole clan except for himself. Then he loses the control of the Dragon Balls, and then he loses his whole civilization, his people. So he is a loser through and through, but I always love seeing an underdog. So let's see what he does next. So in something that mirrors human civilization, the Namekians end up going backwards essentially by leaving their cities, going back to the countryside, and having a minimalistic sort of imprint on the planet, leaving the planet only one course, and that is to revert back to the way that it was, meaning that whatever they did before, the civilization, the empire they had, they were essentially terraforming the planet to their own gains, their own volition, and now it's gone back to normal, and basically the Namekian society as we knew it is completely gone until one day this terrifying tornado event, this cataclysm, because there was a cataclysm that actually is part of the lore for the Namekians. They had to fit in here somehow. That cataclysm is something that attacks the Namekian people, and they have nothing to stop it with. They couldn't do anything about it. They are at the mercy of this thing, and you have Guru here who repeatedly says that it's his fault this is happening to them. Now, I don't know if he's saying it because he was the one that unleashed it, although I don't think he'd be crying if that was the case. This thing is destroying so many Namekians, and I think he feels guilty because he has dismantled their defenses. There is no structure. Even the guy who's talking, he says there is no chain of command here, so he has to do what he has to do, take matters into their own hands. So something that would have defended them before, something that would have protected them before, which is their society, is not present here. They are at the mercy of this tornado that is essentially sucking the lives out of them quite literally. And so there's only one thing to do, and it's exactly what he does. He lures this thing to a beacon, a place where their clan can basically banish things and freeze this tornado in time in this dimension where it won't ever harm anybody again. And what this guy does is he sacrifices himself for the safety of Namek. To stop the cataclysm, he ends his life, and that is why half of his face is torn, because the tornado ended up ripping right through his face. Now, who is the culprit behind this? Where did this tornado come from? He says it's not a natural phenomenon. He says that it seems like there's someone directing it toward us, and there's something in the middle of it. So what exactly is it? I want to know this, because it feels like this tornado is not the last time we're going to be hearing about it. It seems like this is essentially the end game for the evil Namekians, maybe, to bring this tornado back, or at least unleash it again, if they are the ones that unleashed it in the first place, maybe.
The one who caused the cataclysm was none other than Daiko.
How?
Daiko believed that Namek had taken a sharp turn away from its original position in the universe. He wanted to restore this, and in doing so, he created a weapon that, according to him, would steer Namek down the righteous path once more. The name of this weapon, Hydra. Whatever I sealed inside the Soul Gate, that was Hydra. It was changing Namek. I could feel it. The gravity, temperature, the atmosphere, it all began to change. It was terraforming Namek. A frightening weapon indeed. It felt familiar. Like the old days. I think this is Daiko's objective. He plans to return Namek back to what we made of it during the Golden Age.
Like the way I saw it? And what would he gain from that?
Who knows? For all I know, there's a lot more to it than that. But as of right now, whatever is inside the Soul Gate is the only thing he cares about. The terraforming stopped as soon as I sealed this thing inside the Soul Gate. It is safe to say that Hydra is the key to all of this. And I have reasons to believe that Daiko finally figured out how to break the seal on the Soul Gate. Piccolo, this is why I reached out to you. I don't know what Daiko has found, but if he truly found a way to undo that seal, Namek will once again experience the hell I tried to prevent. You have 24 hours worth of time in the mortal world. Use it. Protect your friends, protect Namek, and stop Daiko.
I still don't understand why you need me in all of this. You seem perfectly capable of handling this on your own. You know more about this than me anyway.
I wish I could. But my spirit can't handle it. I'm assuming it was the cataclysm. This is no ordinary wound. It's much more frightening than that. I can barely use my energy, let alone my sealing techniques. I am assuming that is why my brethren are not here with me. They are gone. Forever. Making me the last Sealer Namekian in existence. But my abilities shall live on. Piccolo, I entrust my power to you.
Are you sure? You want to entrust me with your life?
I'm afraid I don't have much of a choice, but I haven't given you one either. I apologize for the circumstances that I'm dragging you into now, without explaining all of this. It is not your responsibility to inherit my burden, but the fact is, you are the only one that I can turn to.
It's quite a mess, all right. But I understand. If both Namek and my friends are at stake, then I guess I don't have much of a choice. I'll do it.
Thank you.
You know we are always here for a Piccolo power-up, and now we have it because, of course, it was Daiko. He's the one that basically unleashed the Cataclysm on Namek, but he didn't do it out of vengeance, and I like this fact because if he was just that unhinged to like be like, yeah, no, screw you guys, I'm gonna kill you, I wouldn't like him that much. But no, he did it because he's trying to reform the planet and the world. He's trying to transform it back to what it was. Now, what the machine actually does it just change the environment? Does it just change the atmosphere? Is that what it really does? Because it looks like the Namekians are fine living on that planet like that. So does the older atmosphere, the way the world used to be, does that make them stronger, or is he just trying to bring back the glories of the Empire? To be honest, this machine, this Hydra, is probably not the best course of action. If I do say so myself, he probably needs to go get the Dragon Balls and wish the planet back. That's where I would start if I were him. But now we kind of know what the Namekians are trying to do. They're trying to bring back their old species, their empire. These guys are trying to dominate planet Namek yet again, and so this guy, he cannot leave. He's stuck in this sort of like limbo world or whatever. Half of his body or his head is in this world, so he cannot go do it himself. So he gives Piccolo his new glow up, and he looks phenomenal. Part of me thought that he was going to be going orange because Orange Piccolo is a new thing and it's part of the Dragon Ball lore, and it did come out like, you know, months ago. Like, we knew it was Orange Piccolo, so they could have fitted into this at some level, but you know, they're not doing that. They're not trying to mix Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Deliverance. This is its own thing, and so Piccolo now has these abilities that this guy has, and you know, they don't die with him, you know what I'm saying? So now Piccolo is stronger, now Piccolo has more abilities, and he is essentially the key. He just has to, you know, not die, because if he dies, his body will permanently be destroyed, similar to how Vegeta's body was almost permanently destroyed after the Majin Buu arc.
Goten! Trunks? Where are we?
Still underwater. That thing is extremely resilient. Even his Gotenks, we couldn't get past his armored skin.
Then how do we beat him? We can't go into a higher state than this.
Still, we gotta find a way. Every creature has a weakness. He can't be invincible.
You say that, but we attacked it with everything we have, and it didn't seem to phase this thing. How could you still think like that? Maybe it's best to retreat and get help from Gohan.
The last time we let our guard down, it cost us an eye. That thing is vicious. It won't let us go. I don't know about you, but I don't want to hide behind my old man anymore. For once, I want it to be the other way around, and protect them instead.
Yeah, that does sound good. It's time for us to save the day for once.
Maybe it's not about brute force. There are more ways to take down an opponent after all. I want to try something. Are you with me?
I am. Let's do this!
Let's aim for his head.
Right.
He's fast. Move!
Whether the defusing was intentional or not, that was a pretty badass plan, because this creature is looking for the one opponent, the one guy that he was attacking. This is the weapon of Namek, the supreme weapon of Namek, and when he gets attacked by two, it takes him a minute. It's great strategy, even though Goten and Trunks by themselves are far weaker than this creature is. It's still really cool to see that they actually, you know, pulled off some strategic moves, and the animation, man, is just so above bar. It's so crisp. It's the same greatness that we've seen multiple times at this point when it comes to Dragon Ball Deliverance's delivery. They are really, really good at this. This is the bar. The bar, I said it before, is Dragon Ball Deliverance when it comes to Dragon Ball fan animation. And yeah, you can see here why. The timing, the music, when I think it was Trunks, he was looking around like trying to see, no, it was Goten. Goten was looking around, you know, trying to find his opponent or whatever. Like, that shit's so freaking cool. It's just some of the stuff that you'd want to see in Dragon Ball Super is here, and it's great. It's stuff that we should be seeing in Dragon Ball Super, and right now we're not, but it's just really, really cool. Honestly, I hope that we see more stuff like this. I do like the little tidbit about how both of them have their one eye closed. Like, their one eye is closed because they got basically, you know, injured pretty badly as Gotenks. So I like that they carried that over.
I've got him!
Let's see how tough you are without your helmet, ugly. Oh, what the hell is this thing made of?
Grab him! Shit! He endured so much when we were Gotenks, but that makes him buckle?
That's gotta be his weak spot.
Goten,
Yeah?
I think I got a plan.
Oh, you do? All right. I'm all ears. Huh? I mean, that's great and all, but if we're gonna come up with a plan, shouldn't we do that without him being here?
Good point. Yeah.
think we lost him?
Seems so.
Can it even see? Where's his eyes?
Focus
at?
up, Goten.
This is the Goten and Trunks that I believe grew out of those two kids from the Buu saga. Like, the Goten and Trunks that we got in Dragon Ball Super, the adult ones, they're night and day from these two guys. These guys are strategic. They know how to take a hit. I love Goten's outfit. And Trunks is just such a leader in this, when even in the new manga, it's like Trunks is scared of ghosts, and like it's just a night and like, bro, Trunks is scared of ghosts in that manga, and in this he's like trying to fight off this hell spawn of a demon alien thing, and it's just night and day, guys, night and fucking day. They have comedic effects on here, like Notorious Luke, you and your team, man, or the other animators, you guys really went above and beyond when it comes to just like every little bit that you added in this. Like, this is complete night and day from the first episode that we watched. Like, there are a lot more cooks in the kitchen, and they're all doing a fucking good job. They're all putting their best foot forward, 110 and 50%, honestly.
So, we need a distraction. Something that'll keep his attention away from us.
Well, yeah. What are you thinking of?
We still have that, remember?
Oh, that's right. We do.
We use it to get close, and then we'll target its weak spot with everything we've got. How are you on energy?
Honestly, I don't have much left.
Neither do I. I'll give you whatever I have left to spare. This is it, Goten. This is our last shot. If this doesn't work...
Yeah, I know. Let's do this. We did it!
Of course we did.
Galactic Guillotine for the win, buddies. That's it. that's the ending of that fight. The fact that both Goten and Trunks can still use the Ghost Kamikaze attack without being Gotenks is really cool writing. I hope that is something that they can do in Dragon Ball Super. It's really interesting to take that ability and just give it to them, because they do need something that not only gives them, again, a connection, because they are almost all the time fused. A lot of the time when it comes to combat, they are normally together. They are normally just one being. And so the fact that they can even talk to each other inside, they have the same wound when they come away from each other and defuse, and now they can use these fused abilities in combat is just really cool. Like, and I keep saying that, but there's a lot of things I'm gushing over this, the abilities, the battles, everything like that, especially with Goten, the comedic effect with Goten, because he has a lot of comedic moments in here that don't seem like too out of left field. Like, they're not extremely over the top goofiness like sometimes Toriyama does. They are very subtle, and I like that. It's really cool, and this monster was awesome. Like, I would love to see this monster in like Fighters or, you know, Dokkan, you know, Legends, something, because he's so cool. And that's the thing about these creatures. And the Namekians, we've got that fight with Oob. A lot of it is about like morphing your body, and a lot of the animation has body morphing abilities. And when they both got stabbed, dude, I thought that was the end of them. I was like, damn, because Dragon Ball Deliverance is no stranger to giving us deaths, like sudden deaths or sudden KOs that we didn't see coming. We saw that with Vegeta and Broly. We saw that specifically with Gohan. So yeah, that's crazy, man.
Hey man, they called! They called! It just happened!
What? Who?
The Kais. Dude, it's our moment.
Oh, the old Kai? What does he want with me?
Some major crisis. Whole universe in danger business. Seems your friends are in trouble too.
Where are they now?
And that is how it ends. It ends on a cliffhanger with Goku. And not only Goku, but we get a brand new character here. Like, I've never seen this guy before, and he's got a phone. He's scrolling through what I can only assume is Notorious Luke's Twitter, because a lot of it was like artwork that I've seen online. A lot of it was artwork from, I'm assuming, from probably other creators that have been making Dragon Ball Deliverance. So that was a really cool nod, Easter egg. But Goku seems to be in this other world type of location eating, and now the Kais are calling for him because they need his help. A lot of the heavy hitters are down. Vegeta down, Broly down, Gohan down. Only ones left are Piccolo, and then we have Bra, we have Goten and Trunks, we have Pan, and I believe that's it. Like, we really don't have, we're not left with many fighters in our ring yet. So this is the ending. I cannot wait for Dragon Ball Deliverance episode 5, guys. Make sure you go ahead and check out the links in the description for all of the Notorious Luke staff and all their information. Go ahead and check them out right there, as well as the original animation. Always support the original artist, guys. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.